This is just a quick review after getting it back from its first ride in the mountains. Got it cleaned back up. Really love the Can-Am. Traded in the Maverick Trail 50-inch model, sold it rather, to get this. I try to not be biased. No machine is perfect, however, and after putting about 80 to 100 miles on it in the mountains of northern Arkansas, I discovered that there's a few very minor things about it that I didn't like very much, but they're very minor, and they do not determine my opinion of the machine overall whatsoever. I'm assuming it's just because the pads are new, but the brakes are very squeaky until you can get through some water or something to rinse them out, which that's very minor. I'm assuming once they wear in a little more and get a little bit more space between them and the rotors, that should help. Another thing I noticed was I would like a little bit stronger brake pedal feel when you're on steep inclines and declines. I would rather the pedal start building up pressure and resisting much earlier, give you a more comfortable, strong feel, more confidence, but it works fine. Another minor deal is I think they have the vent line either bent around or vented inside the casing here where the gas tank is. And usually when you're riding, about 75-80% of the time, you're smelling gas fumes. No big deal. Once you speed up, it dissipates. The biggest complaint, however, I believe, is originating from in here. The factory primary clutch. This is the DS turbo, not the new. It's a 22 model, but it's not the 22RR that got the P drive. It got all the upgrades that the RR gets for 2022, but except the P drive primary clutch. And with this ducting, this exhaust housing venting right behind your head at about 5,100 to about 5,300 RPM, it is very, very loud. Very loud. Like, it's my number one complaint. Them other things are very minor, nothing at all. But with this exhaust venting right here behind your head, it's insanely loud. You can forget talking to your riding partner. Not gonna happen. I thought at first it was the engine. I was like, man, surely this thing's balanced and everything, but after doing some research and some studying, it's not. I'm fairly certain now it's the clutch. And I do believe, after I've done some more reading, I'm subscribed to some guys that have tested out the new P drive on an 18 X3, and so I'm very confident that once supply hopefully becomes better, you'll be able to order P drives for these units that don't have them. And the guys that's been blessed enough to get them so far have said that it totally eliminates that horrible noise in the cab at about 5,100 to 5,300 RPM. But overall, man, it's just an amazing machine. It's a whole new world coming from a 50-inch bike. Your ground clearance here at this front plate is 15 inches. And at the front, where the frame first crosses over, it drops to the factory claim 14. So 15 at the high and 14 at the low is very good from factory. So I'm happy with that. The ride is unbelievable. It done very well rock crawling. And I drug a few times very lightly. So as always, you could use a little more clearance every time you think you have enough. But overall, it's a fantastic machine. A huge change coming from a 50-inch trail to a 64-inch X3. I'm hoping later on to be able to get the P drive put on it. And once I do that, there'll be no reason to trade in for an RR. especially when I think it was KWI Power Sports. I may be saying that wrong. I seen that they had a 205 horsepower upgrade kit, which would be pretty much plenty that I would want for, I believe it was like $1,700. And if I can get my hands on the P drive, then that effectively turns it into an RR. But overall, that's a fantastic machine. Rides like a dream. The only major complaint is the one that I've read everybody complains about, and that's the engine noise, or rather clutch noise in the cab at about 5,100 to 5,300 RPM. You can either boost past it or stay under it and run about 5,000, 4,800 to 5,000, or move up to about 5,500 to plus RPMs, and you'll be good to go. I've got some small video clips of it crawling in the mountains that I'll attach behind this, and just kind of see it in action. Nothing super special, but as always, cameras, they don't show angles. They never show steepness. You can't hardly tell all that when you're looking at pictures and video. But it was pretty steep, some pretty good stuff, and tested it out, which I do not beat my machines, so I took my time. And I like to take care of them as much as it costs all of us our hard-earned money to buy them. But overall, absolutely love it. Would highly recommend it to anyone looking for something that's next level performance, ground clearance, 22 inches of travel at all four corners. The minor things and complaints I mentioned at the beginning of the video are just that. They're very minor. The only major one is the noise. But overall, thanks for watching. I love the X3.
Yeah.
How's my angle over here?
Straighten your tires out.